I have just been to Buckingham Palace, where Her Majesty the Queen has asked me to form a new government, and I accepted. In David Cameron, I follow in the footsteps of a great modern Prime Minister. Under David's leadership, the government stabilised the economy, reduced the budget deficit,
share with your followers,
and helped more
everyone.
people into work than ever before. But David's true legacy is not about the economy, but about social justice. From the introduction of same-sex marriage to taking people on low wages out of income tax altogether, David Cameron has led a one-nation government, and it is in that spirit that I also plan to lead. Because not everybody knows this, but the full title of my party is the Conservative and Unionist Party. And that word unionist is very important to me. It means we believe in the Union, the precious, precious bond between England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. But it means something else that is just as important. It means we believe in a union not just between the nations of the United Kingdom, but between all of our citizens, every one of us, whoever we are and wherever we're from. That means fighting against the burning injustice that if you're born poor, you will die on average 9 years earlier than others. If you're black, you're treated more harshly by the criminal justice system than if you're white. If you're a white working class boy, you're less likely than anybody else in Britain to go to university. If you're at a state school, you're less likely to reach the top professions than if you're educated privately. If you're a woman, you will earn less than a man. If you suffer from mental health problems, there's not enough help to hand. If you're young, you'll find it harder than ever before to own your own home. But the mission to make Britain a country that works for everyone means more than fighting these injustices. If you're from an ordinary working class family, life is much harder than many people in Westminster realise. You have a job, but you don't always have job security. You have your own home, but you worry about paying the mortgage. You can just about
Sounds like an advertisement,
but you worry
doesn't it?
about the cost of living and getting your kids.
Now take out a
into
credit
good
card.
school. If you're one of those families, if you're just managing, I want to
Take
address
out
you
life
directly.
insurance.
I know you're working
I'm joking, guys,
around
I'm
the
joking.
clock. I know you're doing your best, and I know that sometimes life can be a struggle.
Can it?
The government I lead will be driven not by the interests of the privileged few, but by yours. We will do everything we can to give you more control over your lives. When we take the big calls, we'll think not of the powerful, but you. When we pass new laws,
Do you
we'll
believe her?
listen not to the mighty, but to you. When it comes to taxes, we'll prioritise not the wealthy, but you. When it comes to opportunity, we won't entrench the advantages of the fortunate few. We will do everything we can to help anybody, whatever your background, to go as far as your talents will take you. We are living through an important moment in our country's history. Following the referendum, we face a time of great national change. And I know, because we're Great Britain, that we will rise to the challenge. As we leave the European Union, we will forge a bold, new, positive role for ourselves in the world. And we will make Britain a country that works not for a privileged few, but for every one of us. That will be the mission of the government I lead, and together we will build a better Britain.
There she goes.
That was an extraordinary speech of clear, crisp, political and philosophical assertion. I lead the Conservative and Unionist Party, a direct message for any doubters in Scotland, any doubters
Yeah, but
in
she just
Northern
repeat
Ireland,
everything that
any
she said.
doubters in
Suppose she's
Wales.
kind of a
David
traditionalist.
Cameron was a great
She
Prime
sticks with the
Minister.
ground, you
He was
know.
a
Well,
one-nation Prime
it's alright
Minister.
saying that, but if
will
you do,
inform
unless she actually
my
doesn't do,
premiership as
if she
well.
does anything about it,
Mrs.
then
May does the simple bit of waving
she has
and
to
smiling
prove it,
with her
hasn't she?
husband beneath
Otherwise,
number
you can't
10.
just
She
keep
has set
saying,
herself
you'll do
an
this, you'll do
awesome
that, you'll do
challenge.
this.
She said, as we set policy,
I think she's
we will not
okay.
be steered and governed
I won't say she's 10
by
out
the
of 10.
interests
Not until
of
she's
those
proven
you
herself that
already
she's there. She
have.
goes, she's off
She
in.
said, if you're struggling, I want to address you directly. We won't be driven by the instincts of the privileged few, but by you and by
Yeah.
your needs.
There
She
she
said
is.
she knew that if you were born poor, you would die younger. That if you were black, you would face a tougher
She knows the
time
problems
with
in
the criminal
society.
justice system.
Whether she does
That if you
anything
went to
about
state
it is another
school,
thing.
You'd have less of a chance than if you went to a private school, and that if you, like her, were a woman, you would earn less and arguably do less well.
Yeah, but there are things we
Had you
know.
been born
A lot of people
a man.
know that.
The
Otherwise,
words,
you're
the
addressing it,
thoughts
but what are you
of
trying
our
to
next
achieve
Prime
by
Minister,
saying that?
Theresa May.
Sometimes people
Well,
say
question heard
things in
live
life
from Downing Street. Robert.
to kind of open up to them, but then to take feel the negativity and throw it back in the faces, if that makes sense. But hopefully she's not one of those that knows the problems and not does anything about it. It's like you walk into a bar and you know somebody's drunk. You know they're drunk. By saying you're drunk, sometimes you might feel that person might think, no, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? It's like that sort of as an example. Yeah. It's kind of manipulating society. But then she's got a massive job, hasn't she, to do? She's got to negotiate our way out of Europe, set new laws, build a new government, bring trust to Conservatives, try and win the next election, not hold an election. Lots of things to negotiate, yeah.
For Remain, she didn't want us to leave the European Union, but that said, she says.
I think it should have been her, if I'm honest, and I don't think it should have been Angela, whatever she was called, Leadsom. I think it should have been somebody else completely. Who was an Exeter. I don't think she's going to keep to a promise. I'm not 100%.
I have been told that tonight we will get those key cabinet appointments.
And it won't be this government, it'll be the next government. If she doesn't hold an election, I think in 2020 it could be the UKIP party that could win, because we'll know that she won't have done anything for the country. May kept quiet during Brexit, which was ruined. She did, yeah. I think she's on the fence.
As Brexit minister, and we'll get either confirmation or denial of that sometime in the next couple of hours.
All right. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We've got 5 minutes to go pretty well before we go to our regular news bulletins. I'm going to implore you to hit the phone, which I know you do brilliantly, and see if we can update any of that, because the Prime Minister sure is on the phone doing just that herself. And I'm going to come back into the studio now. There were two
I'm
big
glad that said
chunks of
election, not something
I was
else.
watching both of you.
Change
It
that
was a
L to an
wonderful
R.
speech, and it was well delivered. You're a stop.
Yeah.
I am the
She can't hold an
Conservative
election,
and
no.
Unionist Party's leader. She means that.
Yeah.
But also, you're not a poor woman. You've done well in business and power to your elbow. You're not going to drive
Labour's
her
not ready for a
instincts.
staff election.
Those who are in need tonight and worrying about how to make ends meet will come first in her mind.
Yeah, and I think that's the way to go. And you know, I'm just from a working class background in the East End of Glasgow. I'll never ever forget my roots. I am Scottish, I am British, and I want us to stay that way. No one could ever say.
So
I'm
there
not
we go,
passionate about
guys.
Scotland, and the
If you want to
people
watch
who
it
do
back,
that
you can do.
are
I'm
just-
going to end this, watch it on the
they don't know
replay,
me
and
at all, and I wish they would stop all of this aggro. But what's nice about it, if I can come from a working class background and make a success of a business, then why can't everyone else out there who have a dream as well? I had a dream.
Can I just interrupt briefly, because only focusing it at home, leader of the Conservative Party in Scotland, Ruth Davidson, tremendous
Michelle
statement of
Moan.
intent from
Yeah,
Theresa May.
Baroness
The
Moan,
union,
she's called.
Equal,
See you
equality
later,
of
guys.
opportunity, social justice.